Hello, everyone. We're just waiting a few more minutes for some people to log in, and we will begin the presentation shortly. We have about 5 minutes, so we'll begin at 6 p.m. on the dot. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Moitzon, and I will be your moderator for today. I would like to start by thanking all of you for joining us for the Collat School of Business online undergraduate information session here at University of Alabama at Birmingham. Before we get started, I like to cover a few housekeeping items. In order to minimize background noise, the presentation is in broadcast-only mode. You can ask a question at any time by using the chat Q&A feature to the bottom right of your screen. Please note you are in broadcast mode, so you can hear us, but we cannot hear you. We will do our best to answer as many questions as possible during the Q&A session at the end of the webcast. If we are unable to answer all of your questions today, definitely follow up with your enrollment advisor after the presentation. Finally, we are recording this webcast and it will be emailed to you after the presentation as well as posted to our website in the next couple of weeks. During this webcast, you will have a chance to learn more about UAB, the 100% online undergrad business programs that are offered out of the Colette School of Business. We'll definitely cover future career outcomes as well as admission requirements. Just to give you a little information about my background, again, my name is Jennifer Moitzon, and I am an enrollment advisor in the undergrad admissions office. And I work specifically with students that pursue the online business programs here at UAB. I have worked in higher education for almost 5 years now. Really my favorite part of my position is learning about students' experiences and their long-term goals, overall to see if UAB is going to be a right fit for you. So just to give you some background for those that are not aware or not familiar with our institution, UAB was founded in 1966 and is a public coeducational collegiate university that offers excellent and highly relevant programs where students prepare for their professional careers. We are regionally accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, as well as the Colette School of Business, is accredited by the AACSB. This stands for Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. This accreditation is important to note because it is the respected and highest credential of excellence for business and accounting schools. In addition, only 5% of business schools in the entire world have this accreditation. So either way, whether attending on campus or online, it definitely lets you know right from the beginning it's a well-quality institution as well as business programs. Our mission is to provide quality education to offer professional preparation. Because of our dedication to this mission, UAB is ranked as one of the nation's best undergraduate business programs as well as best online programs by the U.S. News and World Report. The Princeton Review has also ranked UAB as one of the nation's best business schools. Now, in order to complete a bachelor's degree here at UAB, you will be required to complete your general education courses. This of course includes your math, science, English composition, speech, etc. Great thing is, even with your gen ed courses, these also can be completed 100% online. You're not required to come to campus at any point. Of course, if you are in the area, you're more than welcome to come visit the campus if there's an event going on or if you wanted to meet with any of the professors during their office hours, you're definitely more than welcome to come. Of course, after completing your general education courses, you will begin working on the foundation and lower level courses, which you see on the screen. Great thing is, no matter what business program you are pursuing, you will be starting off with these courses to kind of build that foundation. An accounting student will have the opportunity to network with students that have an interest in marketing or management, etc. So you'll all be mixed in with a variety of different students from different backgrounds as well. Another great thing to note is, let's say that you start the program as an accounting major, but as you're taking classes and talking with professors and just gaining all this new information, but you decided to want to switch your major to maybe the online information systems program instead. You can change your major. That's once you select your major on your application, you're not necessarily stuck to that. You can change your major as long as you're still within your foundation and your lower level courses. Once you get into your upper level courses, yes, even at that time you can still change your major, but keep in mind that may push off your graduation date because you do need to make sure you're meeting the requirements for the new major that you had switched to. So we'll start off with the online accounting program. So here's a list of the upper level accounting courses that students will eventually take. For those that have an interest in this program, accounting is really the language of business. Communicating relevant financial accounting information and providing reliable financial reports is an essential component of successful business endeavors across the globe. Because their extensive knowledge of business activities, accountants have the flexibility as well as the knowledge for branding out into management and entrepreneurial roles. UAB's accounting program offers a high-quality, practice-oriented educational experience designed for aspiring accountants seeking an innovative, technology-driven learning environment. For those that have an interest in the accounting major, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the growth rate for accounting is about 13.1%, which is above average compared to all other professions. Even the U.S. News and World Report rated accounting as their number 3 in its best business jobs. Employment of accountants and auditors is projected to also grow about probably 10% from about 2016 to about 2026. So faster than the average of all other occupations. In general, employment growth of accountants and auditors is expected to be closely tied to the health of the overall economy. As the economy grows, more workers should be needed to prepare and examine financial records. In addition to that, these are the potential types of positions and careers that accounting grads can pursue. Now, a long-term goal, if you would like to become a CPA, please be aware that more than likely you would have to pursue a master's in accounting to meet those necessary requirements, because I do believe the bachelor's degree will not meet the necessary requirements. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind for potential master's programs or master's students. So in regards to the finance program, here are the upper level courses for the finance degree. Being an advisor, sometimes I talk with students and they kind of debate whether they should pursue finance or accounting, because they can be pretty similar in career outcomes as well as the overall curriculum. I would say think of it this way. Accounting consists more of recording and reporting financial transactions. There's posting, summarizing, and reporting financial information for a business, as well as dealing with revenue, expenses, profits, and assets. Finance, on the other hand, is more the science of planning the distribution of a business assets and primarily focuses on investments, stocks and bonds, and interest. Every business and organization needs to secure and effectively allocate financial resources in order to survive. A degree in finance can prepare you for working in the high-speed business world with skills that translate directly into many entry-level positions. The finance curriculum at UAB is designed to provide an understanding of financial operating and investment problems in business. The program focuses on what it takes to manage business finances in ways that grow profit and otherwise add value to the bottom line. We share knowledge on the theories and practices of effective financial planning, successful investing, stringent cost control, and other essential fundamentals. One thing to note, and of course, this is open to all business students, but I like to mention this to the finance students specifically. UAB has something called the Green and Gold Fund. So this is actually an innovative student-managed investment portfolio. So with assets under student management of about $600,000, undergrad as well as graduate students gain a real-world portfolio management and security analysis experience through the application of professional investment strategies as well as sound risk management principles. So if that's something you would like to know more about, definitely reach out to myself or your enrollment advisor. It is kind of guided towards those maybe in the finance major. However, any other student is more than welcome to also participate just to get a little bit more real-world experience. For those that have an interest in the finance industry, employment of financial managers is projected to grow about 19% from about 2016 to 2026, much faster than the average for all occupations. And of course, this is according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Also, a growing range of financial products and the need for in-depth knowledge of geographic regions are expected to lead to strong employment growth. With this degree, you can work as a financial advisor or a planner. You can go into investments. You can become a broker, investment analysis, or even manage properties. So there's definitely a lot of variety in if you do decide to pursue a finance degree here at UAB. So here's the upper level curriculum for the Human Resource Management program. Great thing about this program is that organizations need managers with comprehensive knowledge of today's most important issues in human resources and employment relations. There's employment law, compensation, recruiting, staffing, there's training, workplace diversity, as well as strategic planning. Today's business environment requires graduates who can effectively evaluate and make decisions, lead employees, as well as manage resources. Human resource management is more ideal for people who like big picture thinking, can understand how processes work, and have a passion for problem solving that creates value for the organization, as well as being able to work closely with others. In regards to potential career outcomes, there are some examples of different types of positions that could eventually lead to with pursuing a human resource management degree. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment for human resource managers is projected to grow about 9% from 2016 to 2026. About as fast as the average for all other occupations. One thing to note is that students it's not required, but are encouraged you can actually become a student member of the Society for Human Resource Management, or the SHRM, SHRM. This is actually an organization outside of UAB where you can pursue additional certifications after completing a degree, but this also gives you opportunity to network with others that also work within the human resource management industry. The next program is the Industrial Distribution degree. For this program, students are able to choose from two different concentrations: engineering and medical equipment supplies. This program puts you at the center of one of the fastest growing fields in business. Distribution professionals manage the flow of materials from manufacturers to distributors to customers, which means they play a key role in propelling the economy forward by supplying the building blocks for the products America creates and the world buys. Industrial distributors supply government, industry, and manufacturers with products necessary for business and healthcare operations. Graduates are prepared for careers with manufacturers or distributors in technical industries for sales engineering, logistics, marketing, inventory, and purchasing positions, as well as branch management. Now with this program, again, when you do start your online application, it will eventually ask you like what concentration that you would like to choose. Again, even if you get into your upper level core classes, if you decide to, switch one of your concentrations, you're definitely able to do that prior to. You're not necessarily stuck, but we definitely want to make sure that you make that decision sooner than later, because so that way it's not going to push off your graduation date because you've taken classes for one concentration, now you got to take classes for the other to meet the other requirements. So just want to make sure that you plan ahead for that as well. So for those that pursue the ID program, these are kind of some examples of potential positions, titles, and of course, you can work in a variety of different industries. So with that, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of sales engineers is projected to grow about 7%, about as fast as the average of other occupations. As a wider range of technology, sophisticated products comes on the market, sales engineers will be in demand to sell those products and related services, of course. So something to definitely look forward to. Now is the curriculum for the Information Systems program. So information systems are the backbone of modern organizations. With today's speed of innovation, organizations need help keeping up with emerging technologies and understanding how different applications can be leveraged to accomplish enterprise objectives. The amount of information generated each day can be overwhelming. Organizations need the best technological solutions to make sense of the data, and individuals who know how to develop them are in high demand. Unlike some other computer-related fields, information systems requires a blend of technical expertise as well as business savvy. This program provides a solid foundation in business information systems and business knowledge with a well-rounded business curriculum, as well as specialized courses in information systems that deliver a broad understanding of how to leverage technology to achieve business goals. This program is ideally suited for those who enjoy working with technology and with people, of course. Graduates will be uniquely qualified to serve as liaisons between technical teams and management and to facilitate collaborative approaches to solve business problems. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, employment of database administrators, for example, is projected to grow about 11%. For computer and information systems managers, those are projected to grow about 12%. And then there's also management analysis. Those are projected to grow about 14%. So for that particular area, demand for consulting services is expected to grow as organizations seek ways to improve efficiency and control costs. As well as markets become more competitive, firms will need to use resources more efficiently. Now on to the management program. Effective managers are vital to the success of every organization, from small startup companies to multinational corporations. Why? Because managers are the ones who skillfully coordinate and control the activities of the organization to achieve business goals. At the core of good management is the need to know how to attract, motivate, and reward the best and the brightest people. Management is also about effective alignment. Organizations are complicated systems that rely on the effective coordination of people, technology, and organizational processes to be successful. Managers drive this alignment through their skills of strategic thinking, strong communication, and employee motivation to create business value. Now, because of the Bachelor of Science in Management program, it is a little bit more broad. You are going to be taking courses that kind of cover a lot of different areas in accounting, economics, marketing. The great thing is that all organizations, all companies, they do need managers at various levels, whether you're managing an entire department, a business team, etc. So, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, employment of management occupations is projected to grow about 8%, which is about possibly the result in about over 800,000 positions. So definitely, if management's more up your alley, that's a program that you might want to consider pursuing. Today's business environment as well requires graduates who can effectively evaluate and make decisions, lead employees, and manage resources. Management is also ideal for people who like big picture thinking, can understand how processes work, have a passion for problem solving, and who can multitask effectively to help create value for the organization. Management is also a great place to start for entrepreneurs interested in starting their own business. Okay, now we're on to the last program. So this is the curriculum for the upper level courses for the marketing program. A marketing degree can give you the skills and knowledge necessary to be able to work in nearly any industry that exists today, particularly because marketing is such an important part of any business plan and involves understanding the importance of consumer relations, communication, and the various stakeholders involved. Marketing requires excellent analytical and communication skills. On this slide, here are some examples of positions that marketing graduates can pursue. People tend to feel that with a marketing degree, it's strictly going to help you go into the area of advertisements. But marketing consists of so much more than that. Yes, you can work in ads and advertisements, but a marketing degree can lead to a steady career path in sales, marketing management, public relations, fundraising, advertising, or promotions. Marketing graduates also can be hired by ad agencies and marketing firms of all different sizes, as well as by business in virtually every industry sector. Overall employment for advertising, promotions, and marketing managers is projected to grow about 10%, as well as advertising, promotions, and marketing campaigns will continue to be essential for organizations as they seek to maintain and expand their share of the market. Now, I wanted to cover this just even though a lot of students would be pursuing the program online, I did want to cover that one opportunity that you can also consider is being able to study abroad. Something that students can participate is the option of being able to travel to another country as well as seeking college credit. This is an opportunity for all students in all majors, both campus as well as online. There are opportunities where you're able to study either in Italy, China, and Denmark and receive college credit, as well as this gives you a chance to connect with faculty and students and really take a deeper dive into another culture and another environment. We do not have the exact details for the trip for Denmark just yet. However, the trip to Italy would take place in March and would cover the cultural, social, government, and economic conditions that are critical for the success of startups, as well as learn about some of the greatest Renaissance innovations and how these innovations continue to influence our world. For the trip to China, that would take place in about mid-May and would cover the historic and cultural sites such as the Forbidden City and the Great Wall, and students also will have the opportunity to visit multiple Chinese businesses. If you would like more information regarding the study abroad program, definitely reach out to myself or any of your other enrollment advisors, and we can give you a little bit more insight into that. So these are the admission requirements. So in each class, I would say each class, every entry point, we work with a variety of students. We do have the traditional freshmen that have graduated from high school within the past 4 years. So for those that would fit into that category, we would need to see that your cumulative GPA from your high school is at least a 2.25. ACT score should be 20 or above. SAT score should be 950 or above. In order to be considered an applicant, we would need your test scores as well as your official transcripts. We would also, for those that were homeschooled, we would need credentials of the homeschool teacher that you had worked with. Now, we also have what you would call non-traditional freshmen. So these are students that have graduated high school for over 4 years, maybe even be working professionals. I'm currently working with students for the spring session that are married, have been working for 10 plus years, have families, and hence why they want to pursue the online, because it allows that more flexibility for them. So for non-traditional students, if you've never attended any college at all, we would still need your high school transcripts. Because it's been over 4 years, we would not require any actual testing, ACT, SAT, nothing like that. And you would need to have a cumulative of a 2.75 GPA or above. Same thing as with working with traditional freshmen. In order to be considered an applicant, we would need an online application as well as official high school transcripts sent to our office. For transfer students, we definitely have worked with those as well. So for transfer students, that is if you had attended another college or university and have decided to transfer to UAB to complete your bachelor's degree. So what that would entail is you are considered a transfer student if you have more than 24 transferable college credits, whether that's from one school or if you attended a couple, in total, a minimum of 24 transferable credits. Now, the cumulative GPA for that is you do need to maintain a 2.0 GPA. And then in order to be considered an applicant, you would need to be in good academic standing from all your previous schools. And then, of course, we would need an online application as well as all official transcripts from all the colleges and universities that you had attended. In terms of transfer credit, what that would entail is, and this is the process here at UAB, is that when transfer students apply to the online bachelor degree programs, once we have all of your transcripts on file, your application would be complete. You would go into review by the admissions committee. If accepted, that's when, since we'll have all of your transcripts on file, that's when they will go through articulation to be evaluated. And usually that takes maybe about 1 to 3 weeks. It just kind of depends. And so from there, students would actually be able to access their BlazerNet portal. As advisors, we would work with you, so making sure you're able to access your UAB email, your credentials, and you would be able to see your degree plan, and it will show you this is what the classes that we had accepted from the previous schools that you had attended, and based on the major that you had chose, these are the additional courses that you would need to complete in order to earn your bachelor's degree here. So just kind of give you some insight on what that would entail in terms of the admissions process. So I see that we have like a few questions already come in. We'll just take a minute to see if there are any more questions as they come in, and then we can go right into the Q&A session. So we have one question that came in. If you want to do a dual degree, how would that work? So what that would entail is eventually, once accepted into UAB, you will be working with a student advisor. So to kind of give you some insight, I'm an enrollment advisor, so I do work with students more on the front end, making sure your application looks great. If accepted, I continue working with you pretty much all the way up until the first week of classes. So making sure you're working on financial aid, you have your UAB credentials, making sure all of your documents are in for financial aid, all of that. And then eventually, I will pass the baton on to a student advisor. So the student advisor works with you pretty much from the beginning of your program all the way till you graduate. So in addition to your professors, they're there for you more as like administrative questions. So for completing a dual degree, that is an option. Just definitely want to communicate that with your student advisor. So we would have you complete the necessary classes for your first major, and then once you've completed that, if you wanted to add a second major or even a minor, as long as it's one of the other online, 100% online degree programs, you can definitely do that. So an example is you have a major as management, and then you decide you want to add a minor in accounting. You'll meet all the requirements for the management degree, and then to meet the requirements for the accounting and minor, the minor in accounting. Or if you wanted to, like you said, double major, that's also an option as well. I have another question. How is the material presented in the classroom? So this is something that the professors, they'll utilize a lot of different ways to present the material to you. We want to make sure students don't feel like they're learning this solely on their own. There's no support, there's no resources. So the professors, they will use textbooks, there's journal articles, there's recorded lectures, there's PowerPoints, there may be quizzes and exams as well. Great thing is all of this it is done from the comfort of your own home. When it comes to recorded lectures, if you do have a professor that has a live class session and you're not able to attend, you have prior responsibilities like family or something work related, that's completely fine. Again, if students were able to stick to a really strict schedule, more than likely you would have attended a campus format. So if a professor does have a live class session and you're able to attend, great, you're able to interact with other students, you're able to interact with your professor live right then and there. However, if you're not, that's not going to hinder your grade. You can actually access those recorded lectures at a later date and time. So, and of course, if there are any additional questions, we always encourage students to reach out to their professors. Ideally, I would try to give them 24-hour notice, just so that way they're able to get back to you in a timely manner. And of course, if it's regarding a particular question on an assignment, you definitely want to make sure you get that answer, so that way you can submit your assignment on time. You're not docked any points. One question is there a deadline for the spring 2019 online registration? So we have a couple of deadlines. Some of you might have already been in the application process, have already started, and have been working with an enrollment advisor. So there's a scholarship opportunity for students. The only thing is students would need to complete their application and transcripts, application fee by this Friday, the 16th. Like I said, some students might have already been working with advisors already and are planning on trying to meet that deadline. However, the final application to be considered for the upcoming spring session is December 1st. So definitely have a little bit of time, but please, definitely be aware that if UAB if any of our programs and UAB as a whole meets all of your check marks, it definitely aligns with your long-term goals, it's definitely a right fit for you, then we want to make sure that you get that process started sooner than later. Next week, it's Thanksgiving. A lot of advisors will be out of the office. Campuses will be closed, and then after that is Christmas and New Year's. So we want to make sure that you're all situated, you're all good to go, you're registered, and you can enjoy your holidays. You don't have to stress yourself like, I need to get this in, I need to get this in. So definitely, spring is still an option for students. December 1st is the deadline, but we definitely want to make sure that you're getting everything in so that way you can start classes on January 7th off on a right foot. One question is, how many hours should I dedicate per week? So ideally, we suggest for students to dedicate about 10 to 15 hours a week. Now, you can set up your schedule on what is going to work best for you, your current lifestyle, your current work schedule, and really what is more important is that you are meeting your deadlines every week. So usually professors will have assignments due either on Wednesday evenings or Thursday evenings. So we always suggest first day of class, access your syllabus. That's really important. It will show the contact information for your professor. It will show you the career objectives and the goals for that particular course. And then great thing is it does list all of your assignments and when they're due. So if you see that there's an assignment due on Thursday evening, but you know something's going on, with the family, you're having to take your kids to a soccer practice or a swim practice, then ideally you would probably want to work on that assignment maybe earlier in the week, maybe submit it by Wednesday, you met your deadline. So whether working on assignments early in the morning before work, if you're a morning person, or more later in the evenings, if you feel your mind is more active then, that's completely up to you. You can set up the schedule on what's going to work best for you, and I would say our most successful students are ones that are able to really properly manage their time, are self-motivated, as well as being able to plan ahead. One question I see is, what kind of support or resources are available to me as an online student? Well, me, for example, I'm your enrollment advisor, so I do provide, all the support and resources that you need to help you through the admissions process. As I mentioned before, you do have your professors. Of course, they are there for you in case you have, questions regarding a particular assignment or a class or a lecture. I always tell students, take it a little further. If you see you have a professor that kind of has a background that kind of piques your interest, or you have an interest in getting a little bit more knowledge about, reach out to them. That's what they're there for. You can, build that network and connect with them, and, during their office hours, or send them an email saying, I have a background in this, or I really want to pursue this particular, field as a career. What are some things that I can do now? How do I get from point A to point B? What are some things that I can plan for? Other resources, of course, is your student advisor. So they're available for you if you have any more administrative questions. They're there for you for time management, coaching, registration, textbook information. So they're there for you as well. And then, of course, you have access to the Career Center. If you needed help on maybe learning how to update your resume, that's what they're there for. If you wanted some help on maybe some interview prepping, that's also available to you as a student. If you needed to utilize the online library because you need to do research for a program or for a class, that's also available to you as well. Of course, with this being all 100% online, we have 24/7 IT support. We definitely want to make sure students are not having any type of IT issues that's preventing them from submitting their assignments. So that's always available to you 24/7. And of course, there's also the Writing Center. If you're going into the area of business, you definitely have to have good business writing skills as well. So if you need some help with that, or you're just learning on how to properly cite your sources, that's what the Writing Center is available to you as well. Just going through some other questions. Some of them are a little bit of like repeats. One question is, how many entry points are there? We accept students all year round, so there's 3 entry points. There's fall, spring, and summer. So right now we are working with students that are coming in for the spring session. After that, we will begin our focus on those that would want to come in for summer, and summer classes do begin beginning of May. Another question that came in, do you have to purchase books online? So when it comes to textbooks, you're not required to buy them from UAB's bookstore. Once you're registered, I would suggest looking up the textbook list, and from there you can either go to Amazon.com, you can purchase textbooks from UAB, you can go to Barnes & Noble, I think Chegg.com is another one. We don't include textbooks with tuition because it could go up or down. Textbooks, you can rent them versus purchasing them. That tends to keep the cost down. Of course, you can buy used versus brand new. Some people prefer physical books as well. Others prefer ebooks. Ebooks are going to vary depending on the publisher and if they have it in an ebook format. So that's going to be up to the publisher. We don't really have any control of if they are going to be ebooks. Another question is, do you provide laptops for use? No, unfortunately not. We don't do that. We ideally would suggest for students to have that before they begin the program. Of course, you can use your own local library. It definitely helps having your own personal laptop. You can use financial aid. If there's anything left, it is all going to depend on your financial aid status and what is covered, after tuition, things like that. One question is, am I able to pursue school while still working full-time? So we do have a variety of students in our online formats that do work full-time, have families, have other types of commitments outside of work. So ideally, this program is actually built for full-time workers. We generally suggest especially if you're not familiar with taking online classes, we generally suggest to start off with 2 classes a semester. Ideally, each class is going to be about 7 or 10 weeks long, depending on the course. We still work on a semester basis. There is going to be a 1-week break in the middle of the semester, so that gives you a chance to kind of relax and then jump right back into class after that week is done. We just suggest that, take 2 classes, see how you do with working full time. And of course, if you want to add more courses later, you're definitely more than welcome to do so. But keep in mind, again, it is pretty heavy online. Does not necessarily mean that it's easier. It's just a little bit more manageable and flexible in terms of time and not having to travel to campus, things like that. So if you do decide to pursue full-time, classes, taking 4 classes a semester, that's almost like a whole nother full-time job, and we do want to make sure our students are sleeping. Don't stress yourself out. Don't rush through the program just to get it done. It's better to go at a much more slow, comfortable pace, so that way you're really grasping the information that's being presented. You're going to be well prepared to working in the business industry overall, and of course, you want to come out with a good GPA. That's something that employers can eventually look at. I've heard some employers even request official transcripts, so you definitely don't want to have a low GPA coming out of your bachelor's degree. So there's a couple of questions. So is there a set amount of hours for each semester, or can you go at your own pace? Well, it is going to depend. If you are utilizing financial aid, you do need to be at a minimum of 6 credit hours per semester, and that is the 2 classes. 2 classes, that is a part-time status. Again, you're more than welcome to take additional courses, but if you're not familiar with online, this is all brand new territory for you, then we generally suggest with starting off with 2 classes and just kind of see how you do, and then definitely talk with your student advisor for registration as you're going into your second semester. So if you do want to be considered for financial aid, you do have to maintain at least 6 credit hours. If you were to withdraw from one course, that would put you at a financial aid risk, so that's something you need to be aware of. So I think we're about out of time now, so I did see a lot of questions had come up. So what I would do is, of course, a recording of this broadcast will be sent to everyone. After it has been completed, it will be eventually posted to our website. Again, just some important deadlines to make note of. If you are already in the application process, great job. You've already started that process. UAB is the right fit for you. If you want to be considered for the scholarship opportunity, the deadline for that would be to have your application completed by this Friday, the 16th. However, if you haven't started the process yet, that's completely fine still. We'll definitely enjoy working with you. We definitely want to make sure you get all of your documents in by December 1st if you still want to be considered for spring. And then classes will begin on January 7th after New Year's. I did see a lot of questions had come in. We were not able to answer all of them, so what I would do is definitely reach out to your enrollment advisor, and they can definitely discuss all those other questions with you. I definitely want to thank everyone for attending. I really appreciate it, and yes, I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you.